Imagine sitting across from your wife at dinner, her eyes cold, her tone casual, and she says, I want to spend one night with my ex for my birthday. If you can't handle it, then forget it. You freeze, thinking she's joking. But she isn't smiling. That's the moment I realized I'd been living with someone who no longer respected me. And that night, she didn't just lose my trust, she lost everything she took for granted. It all started a few weeks before her birthday. Emily had been distant, not angry, not sad, just disconnected. The way she'd talk to me changed. She laughed less, stared at her phone more, and started mentioning her ex, Jake, like he was some kind of legend. Jake used to surprise me with roses, she'd say while scrolling, or Jake always knew how to make me laugh. At first, I brushed it off, thinking it was harmless nostalgia, but I was wrong. Her birthday plans were simple: dinner at her favorite restaurant. She dressed beautifully that night, glowing in a way I hadn't seen in months. During dinner, we talked about work, family, and plans. Everything seemed normal until dessert arrived. That's when she leaned in, smirking, and said the sentence that shattered everything. I want to spend one night with Jake. Just one. It's my birthday wish. If you can't handle that, then forget it. I stared at her, waiting for her to laugh, to say it was a joke. But she didn't. She sipped her wine, looked straight into my eyes, and added, It's just closure. You don't understand what that means to a woman. I felt something inside me snap. Not anger, not sadness, but a calm numbness. The kind that comes when you finally realize you've been giving love to someone who stopped valuing it long ago. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I simply said, Okay. Her smirk grew wider. Okay? So you're fine with it? I smiled faintly. Do whatever you need to. She thought she'd won. She thought I was weak, a husband too scared to stand up for himself. But what she didn't know was that I had already decided that night would be the last she ever disrespected me. The next morning, she packed a small bag, saying she'd be gone for the night. She even kissed my cheek like she was going on a girls' trip. I watched her drive off, and instead of breaking down, I opened my laptop and started preparing. First, I changed the locks. Then I called my lawyer friend and told him I wanted a separation drafted immediately. I canceled her access to our joint credit cards, froze our shared account, and took her name off everything that was mine. That night, I didn't sit and wonder where she was. I slept peacefully for the first time in years. The next morning, when she came home, she was glowing, makeup smudged, hair messy, that satisfied smile still on her face. She walked in like nothing had happened, tossed her bag on the sofa, and said, You're quiet. Don't tell me you're mad. I looked up from my coffee and said calmly, You're right. I'm not mad. I'm done. She frowned. Done with what? I slid a white envelope across the table. Inside were the separation papers, her frozen account notice, and the house keys she no longer needed. Her smile vanished. You're joking. I shook my head. You wanted one night with your ex for your birthday. I'm giving you every night with him from now on. She stammered, tried to laugh it off, saying it didn't mean anything, that it was a mistake. I stood up, walked to the door, and said, Mistakes are accidents. You made a choice. She begged, cried, even got angry. You can't just end a marriage like this. I looked her dead in the eyes and said, You ended it when you thought a man's loyalty was something to test. I left the house before she could respond. I didn't look back. A week later, she called, saying Jake didn't want her anymore. Apparently, he'd made it clear it was just one night. She was heartbroken, humiliated, and desperate to come back. But by then, I had already moved into a new apartment, started focusing on my work, and began rebuilding my life, one that didn't include betrayal. Months passed, and she kept trying messages, emails, even showing up outside my office. I never replied. The silence said everything I needed to. One evening, I got a message from Jake himself, an apology. He said, Man, I didn't know she was married. She lied to me, too. I simply replied, It's fine. She's your problem now. Sometimes revenge isn't loud, it's quiet. It's the peace that comes when you walk away from someone who thought you'd never leave. She wanted one night with her past. I gave her a lifetime to live in it. If you liked the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications.